All of a sudden Jamie then took the magazine and began to start choking the officer. "What are you doing?" I said as Jamie was trying to kill the officer. Noon was watching as Jamie was getting away with it. "Stop!" I yelled as I grabbed his arm. Jamie then bit me. "Ow!" I said. The officer passed out as Jamie then got out the back seat of the car and opened the front door as he then pushed the officer's lifeless body over to the passenger's seat. I sat in the back seat as I was getting scared. "Jamie, you don't want to do this," I said as he tried to put the car into drive. I banged on the windows, screaming for help. Noon could hear me as Jamie was reserving. He strapped the officer to the passenger's chair with tape and rope as he was still trying to get onto the road. "Jamie!" I shouted as all of a sudden one of the officers turned around and saw what was happening. "Stop!" he bellowed as he began to dash into the car's way. He was trying to stop the car. I kept banging as Jamie then whacked me with his magazine. I tried opening the door as he locked the door. "Please let me out, don't drag me into this mess." Jamie then reached around in the glove box as he found a gun. "Shut up," Jamie said as he pointed the gun at me. Whoa, don't do anything stupid," I said as he then put the car into drive and ran over the cop that was trying to stop the car. He then pointed the gun at the officer in the passenger seat. He then pulled the trigger as he shot the unconscious officer. Bang, is all I heard as I got scared and ducked behind the chair. Blood flew everywhere. "So you're going to try to fight me now?" Jamie said as I was getting scared. "Please, you don't want to do this," I repeated as he then aimed the gun at my head as he was speeding down the highway. I was just confused on what to do. I turned around to see the police chasing us. I then decided to bang on the back window, trying to tell the police that I wasn't involved. But Jamie slammed on the brakes as the car unexpectedly. The police cars chasing us had to react with seconds to spare. They went all flying over the road as they didn't see it coming. Jamie then turned around. "Shut up!" he shouted at me. "But I just want to be let go," I said quietly as I began to sweat. "Too bad," Jamie said as he then shot me in the leg. "Ow!" I said as I grabbed my leg as the bullet went in deep. "What was that for?" I said as I took off my shirt and wrapped it around my leg trying to stop the blood from leaking out. "Just shut up or you will get one through the head," Jamie shouted at the top of his lungs. He then dropped the gun on the dashboard and proceeded to start the car up once more. There were two officers who came out of their police cars and rushed over, trying to open up the back door, trying to get in and stop Jamie. The car then drove off as they fell to the floor. I was still holding onto my leg as blood was coming out the sides of the shirt that I wrapped around it. "Please, I need help," I suddenly said as I then grabbed the officer's dead body that was still laying in the passenger's seat. "What are you doing?" Jamie asked as he then whacked my hand. "Please, I just need some bandages," I said as I began to feel dizzy and ill. "No," Jamie said as he then did a hard corner on the road. The police were still following us as I turned around and looked out the back window. Jamie then saw a ramp. "Watch this," he then boasted as I saw what he was about to do. "No, please, we will both be killed," I said. "So what?" Jamie continued without a care in the world as he pressed further on the gas pedal. I then took a big breath as the car then went flying over the ramp. I kept my head down as I knew what was going to happen. All of a sudden the car had crashed into a building as Jamie was squished between his seat and the building and died on the spot. I was under a pile of metal as I couldn't feel my legs. The police came rushing onto the scene as they were still chasing us. "Everything is going to be okay," one of the officers said as they tried to open the door. I was unable to understand what was going on. The officers broke through the window and grabbed my legs trying to pull me out. "What's that smell?" one of the officers asked as they tried to get me out of the car. "I think it's the engine," one of the other officers said as the firefighters arrived on the scene and started putting out the fire before cutting me out of the back of the seat.